Sometimes when you go out storm chasing in central Kansas, that channel comes in very spotty. We were driving around Topeka and having some problems. You tell Maggie about storm chasing in central Kansas, how exciting that can be.
It can be.
It can be, but I was hoping you could tie it into my art blog by if we go into Kansas. And, you know, the goal might be, yeah, we're going to go storm chasing, but you know, there's a lot of downtime. And like when we went to Salina,
right? We
ate at the Cozy
Inn,
and you know, we could go in there and I can bring the camera and interview people about this place and put it on the blog. And you know, there's a lot of neat little artsy things, interesting things in Kansas. You know, like in Burlington, Kansas, I want to stop in there and look at their theater.
Right.
Like beautiful Art Deco theater. Looks like it's very well preserved.
I've got this shutting down, so I'll let Blue get out of here.
Oh, when I talked to Reed, I asked him about getting on tornadovideos.net with my stuff, and he said, yeah, get in touch with me. We'll get the information. So maybe I can work out something where I might be on one of their chasers.
Really?
Yeah. You've seen Reed Timmer's stuff, haven't you? You ever watch Discovery Channel?
Yeah.
You ever seen the show Storm Chasers?
Oh, yeah, once or twice. Yeah.
Reed Timmer is the guy that's driving around that red tank. It's called the Dominator.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, I got to figure out how to get this back in the car. Before I do that, let's just tell them how coffee doesn't agree with me. Coffee tends to come out of me in the same form it goes into me. And like, I go to the bathroom, I was like, mocha. What all you got in here?
A little of everything. This is my little JVC.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
And then I've got
your YouTube camera.
My book, external drive, and a bunch of crap I don't really need. Cords and cables.
You're getting to be like me.
Yeah.
Is your switcher in one of those bags, or is it
in the red one? Yeah.
The Bobby crap.
You're taking off, Maggie. Okay. Yeah. This Mac does seem to stream a little better than my thing, but then again, I was on the Wi-Fi. It was kind of more of a direct uploady type thingy. The camera in that thing's really not that bad. VistaPrint.com. Highlight.
I will tell you one thing I like about all these streaming services that's really nice is the archiving features they have built into them.
Right, yeah.
Because, you know, it doesn't bother me if I have a show where nobody watched it, because when you archive it, eventually people will watch it. And like as you've seen, when you bring it up, it'll autoplay.
Right, yeah.
And you were asking me if I was live, and I was like, well, yeah, except the way to tell if I'm live or not is if the little title thing comes up.
Right.
And then you click on that and go through them.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
Yeah. I've been talking to a couple of friends. One's here in Topeka, and then one was Infectious Death that called up about basically setting up a thing very similar to Justin TV. And I think, you know, Justin TV, somehow their numbers are way high and above everything like Ustream and all of that. But I think they're sort of artificially
Yeah, I'm sure.
inflated.
I'm sure they're counting a lot. They have a lot of trolls.
Yeah, and I've heard from a couple of people that I give credibility to that Justin TV encourages that.
This is a demonstration of
And
Wirecast.
Because it looks good for the ad revenues.
yeah. But if Google went in and actually audited them and caught that, Google's like an 80,000 ton gorilla.
Yeah.
That would, Google has been known to sue people out of business for doing that. You know, cheating on the numbers.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, we talked about creating a service like that. One of my ideas was only having 100 broadcasters.
Yeah.
And then anybody can sign up and, you know, watch and talk and all that.
The thing I think I would like to do is just try and do my own broadcasts and build my own everything from scratch.
Right.
And I'll stream it. But I think really, if I understand the way it works, what you really need is a server, and that's pretty expensive. Because really the way this stuff works is you're transmitting, it's reflecting off of a server. A server is like your satellite.
Yeah. And some people, like my sister, will argue to death with you, like, no, a server is just a piece of software. It's like, okay, what do you call the big hardware thing that it lives in? I mean, sorry, the industry.
Well, the
calls
hard,
it a server.
she may be right in a way. I think the hardware essentially is,
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah.
it's just the thing you need to keep that software operating smoothly.
Yeah, and it's got to have a big hard drive and a really, really fast processor
Mm-hmm.
and a ton of memory. And then it's got to have the ability, I mean, you can't just have a USB to the modem, you got to have a big,
Hype.
yeah, and it's, well, that's one thing about the Google Vision. Yeah, you're right.
Of Wirecast.
Thanks a lot.
Gentlemen, have a good evening.
Might have to leave for a little while to let Tima go wee-wee. Although I tell you, we got, and it's no longer raining.
Of Wirecast.
Oops, wrong key. Excuse me.
This is a demonstration of
Let's see here.
Wirecast.
Yeah, I didn't realize until this whole thing about Google went to do a fiber optics thing that Topeka already sits on top of, and I'm not sure exactly how this works, but they said 3 major rings, like as far as the internet's concerned.
You mean the 7 layers of hell?
Basically, yeah.
Wirecast.
And
Tima! Come on, Tima! Is that grass over here?
but so there's this kind of big grassroots push to get Google to choose Topeka as one of their, you know, they're going to choose just a handful of cities to, you know, do this
Demonstration of Wirecast.
fiber optics thing. And the way I understand it, Google's going to pay for everything. They're going to install this whole infrastructure and do all this hookups, and the city of Topeka will basically get it for free. And
Well, any city that can get something like that would put them in. You would start seeing a lot of businesses come in. What will kill Topeka?
just Topeka.
Well, it's essentially that what we were talking about. Their overemphasis on sports and athletics, and you know, monster truck
Yeah.
derbies is culture in this town, and you know, a company like Google, a lot of smart young people work for those companies, and it's like, well, would you want to live and work in Topeka? Well, no, there's nothing to do there.
Yeah. Well, in the 80s, we had this little startup called NewTek.
I remember them.
Yeah, they build the TriCaster now.
Demonstration
Yeah, they
of
built the
Wirecast.
video toaster.
Yeah, and they were started, basically born and raised here in Topeka, and they started doing pretty well, but they were kind of at that awkward stage where, you know, the building and facilities they needed, you know, it's like, okay, we're doing well, we're kind of selling product and stuff, but we don't quite have the capital to make this leap that we need to. And they were also finding out that when they go out headhunting, you know, they go out to Silicon Valley or San Francisco and they try and, you know, get good people, you know, like, hey, we got this company, it's doing really well, you know, we need your skills and stuff. You know, oh yeah, you guys sound great, I've heard of you, you know, yeah, I'll come work for you. Yeah, well, it's here in Topeka. And all of a sudden they're like, no. You know, and some of them said, well, yeah, okay, but they tacked on another $100,000 a year. It's like they could stay out there and basically pay this way higher price of living, you know, and a bigger chunk of their paycheck on paying rent and everything, you know, whereas Topeka comparatively is pretty cheap, but these people still wanted an extra $100,000 basically for the Topeka fine.
As far as that goes, Topeka's greatest asset is Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen a lot of that where people live in Lawrence and work in Topeka.
When people in Topeka say, it's the Lawrence people coming down taking our jobs.
Like, no.
No, those are ex-Topekans that got their good jobs and moved out. But here's one of the big clues about Topeka. Basically, we have these classic liberal country club good old boys that really run things. And here was NewTek, they're in this position where, okay, well, we need some tax abatements, we need some tax breaks.
Yeah.
Basically, we kind of need, you know, you got to throw us a bone, you know, so we can,
Demonstration of Wirecast.
you know, a lot of businesses go through that exponential growth type of thing, and that's where a lot of businesses crash and burn because they don't know how to negotiate that. And a lot of times it comes right down to money, where they're like, okay, we need a break. You know, we're doing good, we're showing a lot of progress and a lot of potential here, but, you know, and NewTek wasn't really asking for all that much. You know, they were really, the way I understand it, they just wanted a tax break. And part of the thing was, it's like we're having to pay these people a lot more to come work for us here in Topeka. And, you know, but the city, and the guys that really run things, basically said, well, there's no future in this here computating stuff. There's no future in video production stuff. You know, this internet thing, it's just a fad like TV, CB radios. It's like, we're not going to put any money in that. You know, we're going to save our cash and give it to Walmart, you know, basically. And so NewTek was just like, okay, fuck you, you know, and part of it was like, we got to go somewhere.
They moved to Wichita, didn't they?
Austin, Texas.
Oh.
You know, Texas A&M, Tech, Ruby, Hip City, Lots of stuff to do there.